Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to do the short, long and MCQ type question answers from the poem Break 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 written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. Before we begin doing the question answers, let's quickly discuss what the poem is all about. In just 5 points, you'll know the entire thing. Firstly, the poem expresses a deep sense of sorrow, sadness and grief. The speaker stands by the sea and the repetitive use of the word break reflects the unchanging nature of time. Secondly, we see that the poet envies or he has a sense of jealousy for the carefree activities of the fisherman's boy and the sailor lad. While they engage in being happy, the speaker is feeling burdened by sadness, which emphasizes how there is a sense of jealousy in him. Thirdly, we see that there is a longing for the past which is evident in the third stanza. The mention of a vanished hand and a voice that is still conveys a sense of loss that cannot be repaired. Fourthly, we see nature as a reflective backdrop in the poem. The sea and the crags serve as a reflective backdrop, mirroring the speaker's emotions. And lastly, we see an irreversible sense of loss. The final stanza concludes with the acknowledgement that the tender grace of a dead day will never return. This acceptance of things that cannot go back to what they were show the theme of loss, leaving the speaker to deal with the past emotions in the present times. So let us have a look at a few MCQ questions from this poem. What emotion is the speaker expressing in the first stanza? A. Joy, B. Sorrow, C. Excitement, D. Indifference. The answer is option B. Sorrow. Question 2. Who is mentioned as being fortunate in the second stanza? A. The fisherman's boy, B. The sailor lad, C. The poet, D. The stately ships. The answer is of course option A. The fisherman's boy. Question 3. Where does the sailor lad sing? A. In his house, B. In the market, C. In his boat on the bay, D. In the mountains. The answer is option C. In his boat on the bay. Question 4. Who is the poet longing for in the third stanza, or whom is he missing? Answer option A. The touch of a vanished hand, B. The sound of a voice that is still, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. This is also a typical pattern in which they ask the MCQ questions to confuse the reader. Here both option A and B are correct, so therefore the answer is option C. Question 5. What does the sea do at the foot of the crags? A. Roar, B. Break, C. Whisper, D. Flow gently. The answer is of course option B. Break. Question 6. What is the speaker mourning the loss of in the last stanza? Option A. Childhood, B. Love, C. A day that is dead, D. Happiness. The answer is option C. A day that is dead. Question 7. What does the phrase "the touch of a vanished hand" symbolize? A. Lost friendship, B. Death and loss, C. Regret, D. Hope. The answer is option B. Death and loss. Question 8. In which stanza does the speaker express an envy for others? Envy here means jealousy. A. First stanza, B. Second stanza, 3. Third stanza, D. Fourth stanza. The answer is option D. Fourth stanza. Question 9. What emotion is conveyed through the repetition of the word break? Very important MCQ. A. Joy, B. Sorrow, C. Excitement, D. Indifference? The answer is option B. Sorrow. Question 10. What does the speaker acknowledge will never come back? A. The sea. B. A vanished hand. C. The stately ships. But the answer is option D. The tender grace of a dead day. Question 1. What is the central theme of the poem? The central theme of the poem is the speaker's deep sorrow and longing for a past time and lost loved ones. Question 2 is very interesting. Explain the significance of the sea in the poem. The sea over here serves as a backdrop that reflects the permanence and continuity of life, contrasting it with the speaker's feelings of loss and transience. Question 3. Why does the poet envy the fisherman's boy and the sailor lad? The answer is the poet envies them because they are blissfully engaged in simple, carefree activities, enjoying life and leisure, which highlights the contrast or the difference between their joy and the poet's sorrow. This makes him jealous. Question 4. What does the phrase "the touch of a vanished hand" symbolize? It symbolizes the loss of a loved one, emphasizing the speaker's grief and the inability to regain the physical presence of someone who is gone. Question 5. How does the poet express the irreversibility of loss in the last stanza? The poet expresses the irreversibility of loss by stating that the tender grace of a day that is dead will never come back, which emphasizes the finality of the past. That is, we all as human beings also need to stop living in the past. We need to learn from the mistakes and experiences of days gone by and implement it in the present instead of just holding back to it and not moving ahead, because the very characteristic of life is to keep moving, which is also seen through the symbolic portrayal of the sea in the poem. Let us have a look at some long questions. Describe the tone of the poem Break, Break, Break and explain how it contributes to the overall theme. The tone of the poem is a melancholic and sorrowful one. The consistent or persistent use of the word break reflects the poet's deep grief. This tone contributes to the theme by conveying the speaker's overwhelming sense of loss and the unchanging, relentless nature of time. Question 2. Discuss the significance of the stately ships in the poem. The answer would be that the stately ships in the poem represent the continuity of life and the world moving forward, which is a contrast with the speaker's desire to hold on to the past. They highlight the indifferent march of time, that is, time does not stop for anyone, and the permanence of the sea, that is also there. The waters in the sea, they never stop, it keeps flowing continuously, which emphasizes the speaker's personal sense of loss. Question 3. Explain the role of nature, specifically the sea and the crags, in shaping the emotional atmosphere of the poem. The question is very important. Nature, especially the sea and the crags, serve as a powerful backdrop that mirrors the speaker's emotions. That's true. The sea's constant breaking reflects the speaker's inner turmoil, the disturbance that he's feeling because of sadness within, and the crags emphasize the harsh reality of life. Together, they intensify the emotional atmosphere, highlighting the theme of loss, grief, sadness, sorrow in the poem. Question 4. Explain the poet's use of repetition in the poem. How does it contribute to the overall impact of the verses? Now, the repetition of the word break creates a rhythmic and haunting quality, emphasizing the speaker's intense emotions. It serves to drive home the idea of irreversibility and persistence, unyielding nature of time. That is, the time does not stop on the request of anyone, enhancing the impact of the verses and reinforcing the theme of loss. Question 5. Examine the contrast between the activities of the fisherman's boy and the sailor lad and the speaker's state of mind. The answer will be that the contrast highlights the carefree nature of the fisherman's boy and the sailor lad, which emphasizes the speaker's envy and jealousy and the stark difference between their joyous activities and the speaker's deep, profound sorrow. This contrast, this difference contributes to the theme of loss and the fleeting nature of happiness in the poem. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.